Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got breaking news coming out here for you, and I want to bring you an update regarding Israel getting attacked here from Iran for the last 4 or 5 hours. So it is currently 6:42 p.m. Pacific time, and the date is April 13th, 2024. And this is my fourth update for the day regarding Israel and this attack. So I want to bring you some of the latest. So some of the news coming out right now is that IDF has lifted the order for civilians to stay near safe rooms and that the attack is over for right now. So it looks like there's some calmness finally in Israel and people can stop panicking, although people still are right now. They're running to the stores and grabbing supplies, topping off on gas, and preparing for more escalation here because something big is going to be coming from the IDF. They're going to be responding to this. And we got more information to go over here. So mostly military installations were targeted, and over 200 plus drones and missiles were fired from Iran. And Israel expects to respond again to this attack targeting Iran. So this video footage that you're watching here is from Tehran, okay, the capital of Iran. And this is people here lined up in the streets in their cars waiting to get gas from gas stations and traveling to get out of the city or wherever they're going to go in fears of potential escalation because they know that Israel is going to retaliate here. So yeah, very crazy what we're seeing here. This is going to be kind of a wrap-up video for the day. It looks like most of the action is over, but who knows? It could pop off again at a moment's notice. So let's go over some X-posts here for you to give you some additional information. This is from the Prime Minister of Israel. So Netanyahu's, basically his government X page, okay? The official page for the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is currently speaking with U.S. President Joe Biden following the deliberations of the Security Cabinet and the War Cabinet. So they just got together and they were all speaking. I was showing pictures in some of my last videos. Netanyahu was there, Yoav Gallant, the defense minister. They were all deciding how they were going to respond. Supposedly, they have made up their minds. They are going to respond militarily here, okay? So we're probably going to see a massive strike on Iran. Will they back down and do nothing? We'll have to see. The U.S. may try to push them to not want to attack Iran to de-escalate this now. That majority of these drones and damage done to Israel was apparently not too extreme, okay? There was some damages, but nothing too major. The Iron Dome did a fairly good job of taking down a lot of these drones and missiles. So next up, from the Times of Israel, everybody's running home. Israelis hunker down, stock up on supplies as Iran attacks. So this is some of the latest news coming out here in the last like 20 minutes as well. That apparently, yeah, people are running home and hunkering down and getting supplies because they're afraid of another attack from Iran. There's also some unconfirmed reports that I wanted to share that potentially Iran could have launched another 70 ballistic missiles. I guess we'll find out in the coming hours, but I wasn't able to completely confirm that. So just wanted to share that with you. This one's from Megatron Ron. Says breaking, Iran's embassy in the UN in a statement. As far as we are concerned, the event is over. If Israel makes another mistake and responds, that's what they mean by mistake, our response will be much harsher. This is a conflict between Iran and the unruly Israeli regime, and the U.S. should not interfere with it. So we're still waiting to see, is the U.S. going to interfere? I mean, they already backed Israel in this attack and was helping Israel shoot down drones and cruise missiles fired from Iran over Jordanian territory. We even had reports of, I believe, F-16s or F-35s over Syria as well, engaging drones coming from that direction. So Iran definitely launched a major attack here, and we'll have to see if the U.S. decides to push Israel to respond or what's going to happen here. We'll have to see. Times of Israel again. IDF lifts order for Israelis to stay near safe rooms, indicating Iran attack is over for now. So I just wanted to show you that directly from the Times of Israel. Yeah, they lifted that order for the Israelis to stay near safe rooms. I guess they were ordering them to stay nearby should they have to go into hiding in protective rooms if they were to come under attack. So people are allowed to come out now. Dr. Eli David says, breaking, senior Israeli official just said that Israel's response will be swift and of unprecedented magnitude. Okay, this was just coming out recently too in the last couple hours. So I believe this was during the strike while it was going on that this senior Israeli official said this. But they're planning to respond big here. Okay. Next up, Vice Grad 24. Saudi Arabia and Jordan have now joined the US and UK in shooting down Iranian suicide drones and missiles aimed at Israel, reports Al Arabia. Okay, so we knew that Jordan, along with the US and UK, were shooting down these drones, but now this is pretty big too. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a big player here. We know that Saudi Arabia, obviously, they side with the US. They have a major agreement together with oil and all that. So they're technically allies with Saudi Arabia, or the US is, and they joined the fight too, okay? So this is pretty big. There's a lot of players here involved, and it's a lot. Basically, every country in the Middle East is involved in this, and there's been a line drawn in the sand of who's going to be on whose side here, and the Saudis and Jordan have joined with the West and Israel to defend from this attack. Next up from Iran Observer, breaking, the Ramone air base that launched the F-35 to target the Iranian embassy in Syria on April 1st was targeted. So as far as I know, this Ramone air base was targeted and struck, I believe, several times. We've got video footage, I believe, as well, that shows some cruise missiles striking this base. And this was obviously going to be one of the primary attacks as well, because again, this F-35 supposedly came from this base because Israel does, they store many of their F-35s at this airfield. Okay, so next up, from Nexta, the Israeli army reported that 200 rockets and drones were launched from Iran. Most of them were intercepted. Military also reported that its base in southern Israel sustained minor damage. I believe that's the Ramon airfield. Okay, IDF spokesman Hagari reported the serious injury of a 10-year-old girl in Bedouin, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, or Bedouin, settlement near Arad, a city in southern Israel. She is in serious condition. That's very terrible that happened. I hope that she makes a speedy recovery and she's okay. But we do know that many of these drones targeted the southern side of Israel, so wouldn't surprise me that there were injuries here, or maybe people getting killed by these attacks, unfortunately. So next up here from Bliskovka, Israel has requested a Security Council meeting to discuss the Iranian attack. Israel also calls on the UN Security Council to designate the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps as a terrorist organization. So yeah, I've been hearing a lot about this today. Apparently, this is a request to designate. It says right here, I confirm Israel's request to convene a meeting of the Security Council immediately to unequivocally condemn Iran for these grave violations and immediately act to designate the IRGC as a terrorist organization. So that's Iran's actual military. They want to designate them as a terrorist organization. So once again, just moving us one step closer to a major conflict in the Middle East. But I see why the UN Security Council would want to move to this and try to designate them as a terrorist. So from OZNT Defender, next up, initial reports of an attack on U.S. forces at Erbil International Airport in northern Iraq, as well as Al-Assad Air Base in western Iraq. I wanted to share this here because I haven't been hearing too many other reports, but apparently from OZNT Defender, he's a pretty reliable source here on X, and I show his reports here quite a bit. So apparently, yeah, U.S. forces coming under attack. We'll have to see. This completely unconfirmed at the moment, but near the Erbil International Airport in northern Iraq, okay, and also the Al-Assad Air Base in western Iraq. Apparently, these troops coming under attack again. I guess we'll be finding out here on mainstream news pretty soon if it gets reported. But apparently U.S. troops coming under attack as well, which is interesting because the Iran told Israel and also the U.S. that the U.S. needs to stay out of this. And if they didn't, they would come under attack. And I wonder if because the U.S. came to their aid, that's maybe why they attacked U.S. forces in Iraq. Next up, from War Monitor, new video supposedly showing Ramone Air Base in the Negev being hit by numerous Iranian ballistic missiles. So I don't believe this video has any sound, but we'll kind of just play some of this here. Let's take a look. So there you go. You can see some explosions. Ooh, there's one coming down right there. Multiple cruise missiles, or these ballistic missiles, coming down. Bam, just right there in that area. All along this stretch of lights right here, you can see majority of these coming down right here. I don't know if that's part of the airbase. It probably is. But supposedly this airbase coming under attack by these cruise missiles or ballistic missiles being fired. Very crazy. You can see some of the smoke coming up right here too. The IDF supposedly claimed too that it was minor damage. But I'm also seeing some other reports that there was heavy damage. So I'm not quite sure. There's another strike on that side as well. Bam, more over there too. Over here on this side. It just keeps going. Crazy. All right, so next up from Iran Observer, breaking. Iran State TV says Israel needs to sit this one out or Hezbollah will enter from the north and Syrians from the Golan Heights. This is really big news here too. So Iran saying that Israel better not respond and target Iran or Hezbollah will enter from the north and Syrians from the Golan Heights. Very big news. So they're willing to launch a ground war against Israel if they try to respond to this. So this is what I'm saying. This whole thing over here is just massively exploding. Yes, things might be calm right now at the moment in Israel, but this is far from over, okay? We're still waiting to see Israel to respond. We're still waiting to see how the U.S. wants to respond. Do they want to go ahead and strike Iran? Are they going to back down? What's going to happen here? Because this was a very, very massive attack from all over the place, okay? Iraq, Lebanon, Iran, Yemen, okay? Multiple countries here were targeting Israel in this strike. So this one's from Tim Anderson. Says Iran, starting this morning, all ships associated with the Zionist regime are prohibited from moving in the waters of the Oman Sea and the Persian Gulf, and if they do, they will be seized. So I haven't been able to completely confirm this, but I did report this morning that in the Strait of Hormuz, there was a Israeli-linked container ship that was seized by the IRGC. So they flew in on a helicopter with some commandos and took over this ship and completely seized the ship. So it wouldn't surprise me, and unfortunately I can't play this video because it's got music. I don't want to have any issues with music on here. So from today, the Strait of Hormuz will be closed to the ships of the Zionist entity, and if they are seen, they will be arrested. So this is really big news too, because during my report this morning of that seized Israeli-affiliated ship in the Strait of Hormuz, I stated there that what would happen if they shut down the Strait of Hormuz and also the Red Sea, okay? Israel would be completely cut off for the most part when it comes to trade and supplies coming into their country, and obviously this would affect many countries around the world as well. So that's why I wanted to share that. Not completely able to confirm that, but like I said, there's just so much information coming out. I'd rather just get it out to you, and we'll confirm all this information later. I'm sure there's going to be lots of reports on this. There's going to be lots of mainstream media reports as well, so we'll be covering all of this definitely tomorrow once more information starts to surface. Finally, I want to show you this from Iran Observer. Breaking: 7 K-bar Shakan missiles landed on Ramone Air Base. So just like that video I showed you earlier with those missiles coming down supposedly on the Ramone Air Base, these are supposedly the type of missiles that struck that air base, the Ramone Air Base. So these were 7 K-bar, I don't know if it's K-bar or K-bar, Shakan missiles. Okay, these are absolutely massive. Look how big those are. So Iran was definitely bringing out the big guns here and targeting Israel big time. Okay, this was a huge attack. This was not something small. So we're really expecting a major response from Israel and potentially along with the U.S. and who knows who else is going to get involved here. Is the U.K. going to get involved? Jordan and Saudi Arabia obviously are just providing protection for Israel and helping them out. But we'll have to see what's going to happen here. But I think something big is coming. There's going to be a major retaliation event on Iran. Let me know what you think, though, down below. Share your thoughts and concerns and opinions in the comment section. Tell me what you think is going to happen here next. But I just wanted to bring you the latest update here, letting you know that things, for the most part, are calm in Israel as far as attacks. And citizens there are just trying to get ready for major escalation to pop off here pretty soon. So if you enjoyed this update, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great night. Everybody be safe out there. Take care and God bless. We'll see you in the next one.